I am not late. Well, I mean, I am late, but I said I was late, so I'm not late for my lateness. So there's that. Hi. Rumble is apparently not working, so I'm just going to do some troubleshooting here. I thought I would just talk anyway, because, I mean, why not? Testing your speakers on StreamYards. Okay, I'm actually going to have to leave the... No, will I? No, hold on. I'm going to see if I don't have to not leave the studio for this. Excuse me? Yeah? Why do you have to have that on, huh? No. No.
No.
Don't come here and be ugly.
I'll flash them and get you banned. Then you'll have no platform.
Oh. Deplatform kitty. Okay. I'm trying to re-establish. Save changes. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Come on, Rumble. You can do it. Remove. Add Rumble. Re-add. There we go. Not my. I think I would get lots of followers if they saw your ass. Platform Gordon, exactly. Hi guys. I need to see that. You need to see that keyboard. Okay, well, the current keyboard you can see. Sorry about the coffee mugs, but so the reason that we need a keyboard will be explained in today's episode of Atomic Habits. I'll give you $50 right now if I. What if you see Gordon's butt? No. His butt is worth a lot more than that. No. It's a very toy ass. Okay, anyway, enough about my husband's ass. Let us present. Testing your speakers on StreamYard. Sounds like they're working. There you go. Have a great show. That's the music. 75, take it or leave it. I leave it. I told you he's worth more. I heard it as a crack in it. But very, very good. Hold on. Come, Daisy. Guys, Daisy upsetted my book. She broke my book. But yeah. So I was busy finishing up the diagram for today. And oh, there we go. Apparently shortcuts work. And she came to sit on the book. And I tried to, I don't know what happened, but I tried to do something. And disaster befell. That's Daisy's claws. Daisy made a claw mark. There. You guys see? And there look how she damaged this thing. And look, there's more holes. You see here? And it only stops on the second law. So she's like, you know what, fine, we're done. But when we get to the second law, there's no more claw. Very nice. And she also scratched my belly really hard too, but there wasn't blood. Did you hear about Shad's sword friend? What's wrong with Shad's sword friend? What? Gordon's butt has its own beard. I think most men's butts have their own beards. What are you talking about there with Shad? Sword friend does sound like a gay lover, which would be like real scandal because Shad is married. But I don't think that that's the kind of scandal. Okay, let's close this up. Before I get started, but we still want to hear the gossip. Did you hear? Shad's a Mormon. Yes, that's it. Okay, well, there must be some story that Katru is giving us. Let me close these as well. I know they were supposed to be closed before, but I was making them pink. Plus, I want to understand the gossip before we start. The hot goss. Damn it, Andrew, we are waiting. Yeah, he just comes in here and tells us, like, did you hear? Fucks off for like 3 hours. I don't want to have to go and Google shit and find out. Oh, the gossip better be hotter than Gordon's theoretical butt beard. Good morning. Shad posted a super long tweet about it. I can't sum it up. Oh, okay. Well, I'll go and check. If you go and see. Oh my goodness. Drama. Sorry, I'm just closing everything. What was it? Living anachronism? Okay, hold on. Let's go and see. First of all, that's not where my Twitter is. Have a great show. I don't. What is he even? Is he not? It's not on his Night's Watch that he did. You can diagram the tweet for us. Yeah, exactly. I just summed it up. Where? Oh, there we go. Oh, there. They disowned him. A long-time content collaborator friend ended their association based on feedback from their community. They did so without talking to Shad. Shad has a very long tweet about it. Okay. Is it Night's Watch that he tweeted it on? And now I can't even find which Night's Watch it is. I'll link it. Thank you. I think I don't know if it's Oz or Shad and Brooks. Oh, thank you. Okay, let me share this tab instead. Just hold on. Have a great show. There you go. Okay. Something very sad has happened. Matt Easton of School Gladiator, a longtime collaborator and friendly peer in the YouTube sword community, has just had to cut off all association with me, Shad, and my channel, Shadiversity. Jesus. Okay, boys and girls. We had just had a great day collaborating with. What's happening? Let me see. I don't know this person. What? Him? Wait, hold on. Him? This is big stuff. We're totally reading it. But because if we look at shared diversity, this guy, is it this guy? That's it's him, isn't it?
No.
Gordon, YouTuber, antique dealer, historical research, martial artist. It is him. Fuck off. Shad is an absolute shad. Long read. Link is here. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I can see. I saw. I got to it, but yeah, it's this guy, isn't it? What's in here? I don't know. It is him. Come on. But I'm pretty bad with faces sometimes, so I can't tell. Okay, so let me just put this aside. Okay. I keep shared this. Okay, let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. This is drama. Okay, something very sad, very sad has just happened. Matt Easton of Skull clearly a long time collaborated, friendly peer in the YouTube sword community, has just chosen to come to war association with me, Shad, and my channel, Shadversity. We had just had a great day collaborating with other wonderful sword content creators. It was a day of friendship, discussion, and laughter. Upon sharing some images of the day and filming, he received many hateful comments about me. I'm guessing of the type that grossly misrepresent and vilify my beliefs in an attempt to discredit and harm my reputation. Okay, I don't think it is him, because if this must be someone different. Yeah, it has to be someone different, because yeah, it's different. It's not the same guy. Hold on. Yeah, it's not the same guy, because it's okay, then it's not that crazy. I don't care. It's not that crazy. Also stream elements or StreamYard's chat. I don't know if nothing is happening in chat, but I can't tell if you guys have just gone quiet. I'm going to my YouTube to figure it out. Like, it's completely okay if you're not talking, but I don't know. Yeah, see? I can't. The chat fucked out again. Have a great stream, bucko. Thanks, Kyle. Chat broken? Yeah, it's broken. Shad and Brooks, blah blah. Link is there. Long read. Shad is an absolute shad. That was the last message I saw. Nape broke the chat, guys. Kitten has the same accent as Shad. Yeah, sure. We are talking. Yeah, you're talking. Okay, so we just had a great day collaborating with other wonderful sword content creators. It was a day of friendship. No, it would have been massive if that guy was not part of the stream anymore, the channel anymore. That would be a big thing. But no. Okay, so and filming, I received my many hateful comments. I'm guessing of the type that grossly misrepresent and vilify my beliefs in attempts to discredit and harm my reputation. Without contacting me to find out the true context of my extremely basic and commonly held conservative beliefs that I'm outspoken about outside of Shadversity, he has chosen to totally and completely excommunicate me from his association, even in spite of the kindness, support, respect, and friendship I've shown him over the years of our association. Goodwill, benefit of the doubt. Personal friendly interactions past kindness mean little apparently. Matt isn't the first person to do this, and perhaps I'll talk about the others in the future. I keep Shadversity free of politics. All are welcome regardless of their beliefs, and I extend a hand of friendship to all. Those that agree with my belief, and more importantly, those that do not, including Matt. I believe this is essential to push for a more peaceful and tolerant world. I will watch, support, and be friends with those who have beliefs I find offensive. That does not mean I will not stand up and be outspoken about my beliefs, nor should people censure themselves for the sake of my feelings, and people should not have to betray their beliefs just to be accepted by others. We just need to learn to get along with those that are different. From all those who do not want to hear me fight for what I think is right, I separated from Shadversity as best I can and share such views on my second channel, Night's Watch, or here on Twitter. I only address it now because people like Matt can't seem to understand this separation nor associate with people who believe things they find offensive. Not very long ago, it was far more common for people to get along and be friends regardless of their run-of-the-mill political or religious views, even if they found them offensive. And yes, my views are standard views most Christian conservatives have, regardless of how much people try and vilify and misrepresent them. I'm just outspoken and stand up for what I believe, of course. People love to misrepresent my views in the vilest of ways. Apparently, it is better to strawman a person into a villain rather than address his views. My beliefs are free to be heard and understood by anyone. They are available on Stay on Watch in context, so the nice spots, and I stand by everything I've said there, not the strawman villainous caricature people that hate me try to depict. What are they trying to say about Shad? What many ideologically possessed people who sit on the opposite political spectrum to me don't seem to understand is that they hold views that I find equally and personally offensive, as many of my beliefs are to them. Although it seems they probably don't have a correct understanding of my views, seeing as many hear disingenuous, hateful comments about me and take them as categorical truth. My point is I actually believe and practice tolerance and acceptance of people different from me. Yeah. You don't have to agree or celebrate someone's beliefs or lifestyle to tolerate them and treat them with kindness as you would anyone else. I would never consider disassociating myself with anyone due to them believing many standard left-leaning views that I find offensive, or if they received online hatred from activists for having standard left-leaning views. That would be intolerant, and I stand by my friends. Okay. My tolerance and acceptance cease when people demand I practice opposing beliefs. Okay, so here we go. Betraying my own beliefs for the sake of their feelings. I will push back and fight for people's and my own right to practice my belief and religion. It's not about being polite when what they are demanding is a fundamental betrayal of my religious beliefs. But I would never take away a person's right to believe things I disagree with and live how they want, nor would I ever withhold the hand of friendship or choose to disassociate with people who hold beliefs I disagree with or find offensive. Indeed, to do so is one of the most severe acts of categorical bigotry there is. Look, there are certain lines that people will definitely not cross in terms of friendship. You're not gonna go out of your way to make friends with a murderer, but I know what he means, okay? He means within reason, normal people, okay? Whatever. Matt Easton and the others who've chosen to do this are guilty of this and have revealed their own intolerance, but I will not cut them off as they are choosing to do me. My hand is still extended to move forward in collaboration and friendship, even though they have beliefs I find extremely offensive. I wonder what these beliefs are. And have cast me aside as someone so vile to be a pariah to them when I have done nothing but show them support and kindness throughout our entire association. They have exposed themselves as the true intolerant bigots and seem to be oblivious to the truth that there are many, many people like me who believe the same things as I do and stand for the same principles. There are other prominent content creators in our community that think very similarly to my social and political beliefs. Is Matt going to disassociate with these content creators too? Or is his gauge of intolerance not based on fundamental beliefs, but how much people in his audience hate someone due to them being open and outspoken about those said beliefs? Is he okay to associate himself with them so long as they stay in the closet about their more conservative views and not upset the minority of ideologically possessed extremist viewers he has? If this is the case, which it most certainly looks like it, then well done, Matt, for being controlled by the outrage mob and revealing your true colors. Matt doesn't seem to be aware of the number of viewers and subscribers he has that are conservative and or Christian like me, that believe many similar things to my social and political views. Matt's actions here clearly show he does not want to associate with people like us. We're too vile in his opinion. How dare he then accept their viewership and support when he clearly hates us? So, wow. They believe katanas are good swords. Horrid. Oh, whatever will Shad do with his million+ subscribers and beloved following on FNT? Oh no, I don't know. Whatever will he do? Let me be clear. If you believe things are different to me, even things I find offensive, or live lifestyles I disagree with, I will not treat you any differently to anyone else. You're welcome to be my friend, and you're welcome on any of the channels to enjoy the content. I look forward to associating with you in the comments, and if you make content in the future, to watch, support, and maybe even collaborate if circumstances allow. I believe Matt is capable of being a mature adult and being a truly tolerant person, not one that claims to be tolerant while excommunicating people from his association for wrong think and false vilification, claiming standard conservative and religious beliefs as extremism. Here is the reality. The people that are so intolerant and emotionally unstable to the point of not being able to be near people with views they find offensive are a tiny minority. And yes, they seem to like a larger group because they are so outspoken and they overrun many online platforms. But in the real world, they are the minority. Most people are not so delicate, easily offended, or hateful. Yeah, we make do a lot of the time. If we disagree with someone, it's not usually the end of the world. It really has to be a proper deal breaker for that sort of stuff. This minority will complain online and claim hate speech against what in reality is bland political views. But all they need to be is ignored. Oh, honey, he's not ignoring them. But he's condemning somebody for not ignoring them. So I understand. The collaboration video I filmed with Matt yesterday was great, and only true fools would think that merely associating with someone means you endorse any of their views. Or does Matt think no one on the left should associate with anyone on the right for fear of being perceived as politically allied? Oh, don't come and try and be so logical. No. All Matt needed to do was ignore the outrage mob and show true tolerance, acceptance, and accept my hand of friendship, as that is what we need to do to push for a truly tolerant and peace. What did these people say? Wow. Matt, as shown by his example, would rather we all excommunicate ourselves from those who believe things we find offensive. And that's it, hey? That means absolutely everything. Somebody has to believe everything you believe, without exception. Otherwise, they are horrible. Okay. Those who believe things we find offensive live in a divided world where we openly hate and vilify all those people with problematic opinions. What a shame. What a disappointment. So what did this person... Oh, my God. What did he say? Yeah, I should have read this first. Shame. Shame, yes. They didn't like that Shad hates nunchucks. That's true, Nate. Yeah, it's for real. Dear community fans and members, this is the kind of post I normally try to avoid. Didn't try very hard. You will notice that this morning I have removed a post that I made while I was away working and traveling yesterday. Why? Because you guys are all pussa and you talk shit. Is that why? Why? Because my community did this to me? Okay, cool. At quite short notice, I was kindly invited to get together with a varied group of people to do some filming. I don't normally turn down such opportunities unless I have some concrete reason, even if I have factual and non-damaging disagreements with another person involved. Non-damaging. So he's decided this is a damaging disagreement for him. I try to beat views that I disagree with facts and arguments. Okay, what happens when you guys literally disagree? Then that's it. Like you not changing that person. And you haven't beaten their view. In their view, they are not beaten. What happens then? That's usually what kind of happens is, I mean, there are issues that we would call deal breakers, that people will dissociate over. They will really say, okay, well, we can't continue being friends because of this. That's a real thing. That's normal. That's the freedom of association for sure. But the threshold is the thing that Shad was talking about here. But anyway, so he's now said a little bit, no, he tries to disagree with him. Okay, cool. One of the people involved yesterday, it turns out, is highly personally offensive to a lot of people I care about. Shad, both here and offline. I did not know the depths and complexities of the issues with that person before yesterday. He who must not be named. Okay. One of the people involved yesterday, it turns out, is highly personally offensive to a lot of people. Sorry, both are offline. I don't care if somebody has historical views that I disagree with. I will argue with them. But I do deeply care if a person has views that I deem to be venturing into the realm of bigotry, such as sexismus, racismus, and homophobismus. That is absolutely and obviously a line in the sand for me. Well, the line in the sand seems to be you need to figure out where, like, him saying, you saying latent gay is homophobic to this person. So the line is very far from where it should be. Anyway, I don't know, maybe Shad has said something very spicy. I've interacted with this person over the years, including posting video rebuttals, arguments, responses on historical matters. I had not experienced anything negative with that person other than disagreeing with a fairly large number of points that person made. Oh my God. Okay, Voldemort. As evidenced by my video responses over the years. Example, whatever. However, yesterday after filming, it was brought to my attention that on their second channel, one I've only visited a handful of times. How the fuck off you? Okay, a long time ago, this person is now promoting political and social views, which are absolutely against my own views. As if Shad is out here, like having, like campaigning against gay marriage and shit, like that whole thing. As if he's doing that on his channel. Okay, cool, love. Okay, promoting political and social views, which are absolutely against. Okay, this person is now promoting social views which are absolutely against my own views and indeed against the principles of the groups and events I run. Against the okay, so his groups are completely against the principles of Shad's group. So Shad has some very Nazi sort of stuff, I suppose. I was not aware of the nature and extremity of this person's views. Oh my God, extremity, Jesus. Before yesterday, people can, of course, voice their views in free society, but I'm equally free to disapprove of, disagree with, and dissociate with those views. For sure, very true, which I hereby do in black and white terms. Daisy, he is out. I do not at all align myself or in any way agree with that person. He won't even say his name. Person's views on these topics, which should be patently obvious to anyone who knows me or has followed my channel closely. I filmed one video with the said person yesterday, and I had already decided last night not to publish that. I have also now taken down yesterday's post because I want to move on from this and dissociate from them. I understand that many people will be angry that I've collaborated with that person at all, even before I knew their views. And I hope that it will be partially appease you to know that I will not associate with them again. Yeah, he's literally saying, will it appease you? Now that I know the full facts and that there will be no output from yesterday's filming coming from me, oh, well done. For people who are upset to read this and did not know about this person's views, I suggest that you go and decide for yourself, but I know where my line in the sand is. Now this page will turn to its usual content. Apologies for the diversion. I hope this will appease you. Sounds like someone petrified of their own audience. I would hate to have to make videos walking on eggshells, all because I'll blow up the channel by talking to someone they don't agree. Exactly. Oh my God. Okay, I can't imagine V doing this. V would tell you to get fucked. Every single one of you. He would tell you to get the fuck off his channel. He will say, I know this is bad for business, but he just, something like that. He would explain to you why you're an idiot. Not say, oh shit, sorry, idiots. I'm sorry, you obviously. Anyway, I think we'll do a bit of a drama llama of this on Thursday. Nice reference here, Katru. Lord Shadamort. So the screechers and screeched at him on the internet. So he's playing his turn to the cult. Yeah, dissociating for a second. Listen, guys, look, I understand when he's acting like Shad is out here advocating for all kinds of things that are very scary. Is he not referring to Shad by the name out of kindness, or is this a taboo? Is it a taboo topic? It's like, I don't think it's kindness. I think it's like, ooh, I don't want to platform him. Ooh, it's stupid. So Shad is now saying, hey, motherfucker, I'm the person you're talking about. Like, if you have, and also he never spoke to Shad either. He talks about trying to beat views that he disagree with facts and arguments. Why did he not go and speak to Shad and say, hey, I don't agree with you on all of these things? Why don't you do that? No, immediately I've got to just, hands off. This is quite interesting. Look, internet drama it's not like, but it's society playing out in front of us. It is like our celebrity gossip. I will agree that I'm taken in by it. But it's very interesting to have relationship things. That's why we look at, am I the asshole? We look at that. We want to see, what would we say? What was our opinion? Huh? And who's right in the right here? And of course, you support the person that you want there. You try and go in and support the person you like their content. But then if they're full of shit, then you'll say they're full of shit. I don't know. Is he just thinking because Shad is religious that he's homophobic? Like, Shad has not actually come out and said, I don't know if he has said homosexuality is a sin. And there are people that believe that, and I think it's stupid. And I'll tell them that they think it's stupid. I mean, that it's stupid, that I think what they believe is stupid. But if they treat gay people fine, no matter what they think about it, but if they treat gay people and they don't hurt gay people, well, how can I condemn them? It's like, oh, well, I suppose you haven't acted upon them. You're over there, you're letting them live their lives. You're not harming them by thinking what you're thinking. It makes sense. But also, you're not out here trying to preach to people. I've never felt preached to by Shad either. He's just got family virtues and things. Internet drama is like sugar, bad for you. But damn, right? Tastes good. But yeah, very interesting stuff. I think we can have it goes back to the topic of audience capture, don't you think? Being gay is gay. Hot take. But I think chat might be working again, because I was ostracized by friends who were more like family when I was outed as a Christian. What? So it was like, oh, you believe in God? Ew! You dirty hippie. Hippies are more spiritual, sorry, but like they're like, oh, you dirty Christian. Look, you know what? If people do have the freedom of association, and Shad has said, look, I disagree with people, and I'm capable of being friends with them. So yeah, and I love the gays. Oh, you're a Christian and you love the gays? Oh my God, fancy that. It's like as if not all Christians are exactly the same. Like, oh wow. And Christians can argue amongst each other. Christians, religious people. What's up, Caleb? We just went into some internet drama, because we could not. I will relate it to the habits. Okay, Katru came here with a Q. Okay, he came here with a Q. CUE of did you hear? Blah 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 blah. And we were like, ooh, we need to find out what he's talking about. Like, we were like on edge waiting for him to tell us what it was. And then Lucy's like, hey, this is what he said. And then so we had to go and figure it out. And then I was reading, and I enjoy reading long ass things. So we went and we read. Yeah, I missed them, but it's for the better. Yeah, again, if they have decided you you can't be friends with, they can't be friends with you because of your beliefs. It is absolutely their right. You can think how you want to think about it. You can feel bad and feel like you could tolerate them, but they can't tolerate you. That's what happens. It's just that if you just think about it, we've spoken about where our lines differ, and his line in the sand, he has every right to draw that line where he's drawn it. But it does seem, which Shad does have a point on him, in that it's like, now because you got enough shit on a post, now you have to performatively be intolerant of me. Like that point is where Shad gets him in this drama. Anyway. Andrew Clark for 45 says, check out this now. Exactly. I've been ousted from friend groups because I'm an asshole. I'm a real problem. I do it to deserve friends anyway. I don't deserve friends anyway, boobies. That's the thing. People will get ousted. Are you a puritanical dictator? No, not in this. Lucy is a lemon bug. She's so sweet. But I also would never mess with Lucy at the same time. Wait, what happened? Oh gosh, we'll go over it on Thursday. There's also a few things that I also want to see what Hydra was on about yesterday. What he was talking about. But hi there, folks. Hi everybody. Let's get back to business. Mr. Derail. Yes, hi Caleb. Okay, so Shad Drama. Shad Drama. I love what baby do. Okay, and what did where I was, the last thing I spoke about this book was that Daisy had ripped it. So I was showing everybody how Daisy ripped the book. Daisy does not approve. But that's because she was on the book and I was trying to read it at the same time, and then she fell and scratched me. So anyway, so yes, this is where we are. What we thank you for sticking around after the break last week. I don't know if you were around on the Thursday, but basically that's also what I discussed. Is wasn't very well last week. I didn't really feel too good, and so it was really good to make sure that I streamed on Thursday with everybody. That was good, but it did. I guess it did help. No, I do regret not streaming on the Tuesday, but I was just not okay. That's just full disclosure. It just wasn't okay. I was busy, and that made me not okay as well because I'm just not dealing properly. So anyway, we don't need to go into too much detail on that, but we are sharing the adventure through the self-improvement book, right? So that I do need to explain what happened. If we're going on this, I was talking about my new keyboard plans. Yes, Andrew. No, the book tells us we need a new keyboard. But just to explain the context, I had quite a large wobbly last week, guys. So it's kind of, I think we need to just take a bit of a moment to be happy that we're back. And I say we because I'm just trying to, I don't know, remove myself from myself for a second. But no, I'm glad we're back. I missed it. And I got into it again when I was diagramming today. So it was really cool. But yeah, my mood this week is a little bit shaky. It's okay. But yeah, last week just didn't go. No, for no particular reason. Sometimes that's the thing. It was a depressed week. I had a real depressive week. It was not fun. And the thing that broke me was just that I hadn't completed a certain task, and that got me into which we've spoken about previously. with the way habits work, it got me into just a spiral of bad habits, of the bad, not even bad habits, but the dark side of behavior, you where you can literally just keep going in a circle. I don't even know where we can even use it here. We do go over again the whole cycle of behavior, where you can actually your bad habits will enforce themselves, and basically my bad thought habits enforce themselves. Okay, yes, literally me with the trash is the joke, but if we go well, the main message of the last one that we did get to, the last two things, was decide who you want to be. Okay, decide who you want to be and prove it to yourself with small wins. Okay, so what I did is I had a small loss, and that proved to me that I am the person I don't want to be. So I decided I'm the worst person in the world because I didn't get this thing on time and I didn't do this. So my thinking just went just spiraled. Just, you're worthless. And it goes, that's it. It was horrid. And yeah, but and that's when I was just like, okay, well, I need to take a step back. Same, dude. Yeah. What? So happy about the keyboard? Yeah. Or I hope you didn't have a bad week, Arachnid. So yeah, that is basically what happened. But we're good now. Okay, it's not that we're all good and fine and dandy. It was a bad one. It was a very bad downward spiral. I'm lucky that I have some really great support around me, so I really appreciate you all. And also just appreciate, I could just ran to Ali's house and just stay there. You just never know when the bottom will sneak. Dude, exactly, Caleb, right? It was very much like that as well, where I was just like, whoa. Where the huh? I didn't realize I was this bad. Like, I'm like, I at this point, literally the only thing that is good is that I'm alive. The only thing I decided. Like, I had to get all the way back down to thinking that existence is better than non-existence. I had to get all the way back down to that. But we don't need to go all the way. He's closest to, I am closest to the best person in the world. His name's Gordon. But anyway, yeah. So yeah. How does that happen when we're doing this atomic habits thing, right? It's not that, oh, this book now fixes everything, and I'm supposed to have all this this amazing positivity and just go forth and never make a mistake again. I've understood all of it. Listen, we did the introduction. We understood the fundamentals. We mind mapped it. Why did we not go and change our life? Why is Shinsia not absolutely perfect? We did speak about that as well. That you don't aim for perfect. You aim for 1% better, and again and again and again and again, and incrementally we get better. So there is that, but then it's not even that. It's not even that. It was actually just all of the incrementalism of the bad negative thoughts. It gets me. It flippin' gets me. So no, you need to kidnap Ali because your place has better. Yes, I need to bring her. Because yeah, we can't really do anything. I'm willing to bet James Clear isn't great at keeping up with atomic habits either. We are human. Yeah, that's it. That's enough. But it's so very difficult to because there is the stagnation of like, I want to do better, but then I'm not doing better. And then it was that the thing of not coming to the changes, that the like not getting past that latent potential and all of that. Like, but actually, so there was that one thing, and then it was just because I hadn't done a task. It was literally it. I hadn't done something. And it wasn't the trash, don't worry. But it did spiral outwards to not taking the trash out and not doing like, and okay, fine, then I'll just who cares about anything? It was a proper depression spiral, and we need to get out. I appreciate your transparency. Thank you so much. I appreciate being able to to speak to. I know the parasocial relate. No, okay, our little community. It is sorry, Discord wise. If you aren't on the Discord, then I guess you don't know what we mean. But it is very much so a place where it's just like we're all just fucking trying, okay, and at the same time, we're not in that kind of everyone owes you. Everyone should make you feel better about yourself. That is not the kind of belief that's going on. Nobody is in that way of, oh yeah, the world is just is wrong and capitalism is just wrong, and all of the nihilism. We don't have that there. We still have the fact that we do rely on ourselves, but nobody is pretending that living life the best way we want is easy. Nobody has said that. Nobody said it was easy. I'm not going to sing Coldplay. It changes your way of thinking. It's what they all do. The end goal is to make you recognize certain patterns so you can arrest. Exactly. So, I mean, that is also is that I was looking at my habits, because now, as where we got to, let's just go to where we were last time. We did talk about the man who didn't look right, little story about being able to identify certain cues, right? This woman identified that her what do you call it? Her father-in-law was going to have a heart attack because he just didn't look right about the circulation, whatever. And the whole idea was that we need to point out the awareness is how we're going to change behavior, because we're pointing out all the automatic behaviors that we did. So one of the things here is we do the daily habits, positive and negative or neutral. And I realized how many absolutely just negative ones I had. But that's because I didn't go small enough, okay? And I mean, I don't mean like I didn't go small enough. I didn't give myself enough of a break kind of thing. It's more like I can't expect you actually need to get over yourself. I had to get over myself because it's like, no, literally, yes. From the moment I wake up, I'm doing things I don't want to do. I'm doing things in a way that I'm not happy about. I'm not waking up the way I want to wake up. I'm not eating the way I want to eat. I'm not doing so. I could literally sit and just get all about the negative and just say all the negative. But that's what you're supposed to do. Put them there. But you need to also find the positive ones or even the neutral ones. And that's the thing. It's that even the tiniest little thing, you have to go back to basics. This tiny little thing that literally, I put on clothes. Like you actually need, that, like if you are really not feeling okay, which is what I was not feeling okay. And if you're really not feeling that, you do actually need to get to the point of, okay, we're going right down to basics. Okay. I'm going to just be alive today. Well done. That's a good thing. I made the decision to be alive. And then it's like, I'm fucking happy that I'm alive. Look at that. Oh, I'm so happy that I'm alive. Oh, and then I went and did a whole mindfulness exercise as well. I was just like, I can feel uncomfortable. I can feel heat. Look, I feel like I'm rambling right now, but I'm just saying, like, I had to go down granularly. I had broken down so much that I just went into the grains of, he's talking atomic, right? To the grains of literally of like, okay, are you going to be upset about not doing everything perfectly? Because that's basically the little hinge that I decided to put myself on, is that I'm not doing everything perfectly. Therefore, I'm the worst person in the world. Black and white thinking. So, but then it's like, well, I still want to, but I can't stop living. I don't want to stop living. So, cool, let's continue. And that's the best thing that I actually got to, that thing of, existence. Yeah. I like that. I'm for existence. Go existence. So even being a trash person is better than not being a person at all. Okay, that's as far down as I went last weekend. That's why we didn't have a stream on Tuesday. So anyway, sounds nice. Yeah, thanks. It was great. Anyway, ego death. It's beautiful. Let's see. I appreciate your transparency. Change the way of thinking. If we didn't have capitalism, we would have Cocaine Bear, and that is a timeline I don't want to. We wouldn't have Cocaine Bear. We would or would? Yeah, wouldn't. It reminds me of what Dan Harris says about meditation. People think they can't meditate because their mind wanders and they keep having to recenter. But that is the practice. Recentering is a bicycle. Yes, you actually which is also another reason I love the Wheel of Time, because the Wheel of Time has meditation in it. It's the exact same sort of thing. It is a practice. Maybe a good cylinder trip to break through those neural patterns. Yeah, if only. But it you know what? That's the thing. There are those sort of things are a treatment that can make you have those experiences that you need to have the kind of shift that you need to. There is a moment. So we did speak about in previous chapters that there is no quick fix and moment of truth that everybody just turns into the person that they're going to be, that they decided they want to be. It's all tiny incremental changes for sure. And the person that you are, all of the habits that I'm in, my negative thought patterns have been there since I've started thinking. So that's a long time. It's such a habit to hate on myself. You have no idea. Like, honestly, you can clip it. Let's go. I'm inviting it. One of the things I've wondered is whether somebody could find something that they could insult me in a way that I had not thought of myself. That would be very interesting, because there are very few insults that I've not given myself. So yeah, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about negative thought patterns, that is how you get to it. You have a negative thought, and then you spiral all the way down, and you have all these beliefs that you decide who you about yourself, and you think just thinking about them, it's just your thoughts, it's fine. Just thinking this about yourself, and then saying, okay, yeah, I was being hard on myself, and then carrying on, and then going back to being hard on yourself, and then carrying on. You're still acting as if you're that person. You're still this was very much about your identity, and actually I don't even think we went into it. No, we did. Your identity shaping shaping your behavior, and your behavior shaping your identity. You can't go around with that sort of thought in your mind and think that it's not going to make a difference in your everyday life. So you can't walk around not giving a shit about yourself. So beginning of the show is correct. What, the meditation? What? No, it's not. It's shallow compared to what it is. Is that a challenge? It could be. I mean, it's not something that I'm looking for. It's just a curiosity that I've had. That it's like, the thing is, if somebody did come to me with a new insult that I hadn't thought of for myself, I would say, and I would add it to my list of insults that I give to myself. So again, it's like that's a deep self-hatred that is, don't know where it came from, but yeah. Or is it beeping? Sorry. Anyway, let's continue. So basically, we had the daily habits. What he wants you to do is break your habits down into literally the first thing you do when you wake up, your daily habits. So you're like samurai jack of insults. Each one just makes you stronger. I don't know about stronger. It makes me, I absorb it and and decide it's true. So what are you going to do? I'm not going to fight it. Destiny said something very true about depression yesterday. People getting depressed spend some time trying to escape sadness, but people with clinical depression don't even have the drive to escape. Yeah. That goes all the way down. There's no drive to escape. There's absolutely nothing. And that's actually quite scary. I feel like I've missed the context, but you are admired for a reason. Even if Gordon is the only person that opinion matters for you, it's true, but we appreciate you a lot. Oh, thank you, Galente. I really appreciate that. No, the context we're talking about, I'm not looking for, as much as I do really appreciate kind words, I really do. I'm very much like, oh, okay, I'm going to believe you, and I'm going to enjoy that you've said something, and I'm going to appreciate what you say. I'm not looking for that. I'm actually, the reason I'm talking about it is just explaining literally how bad it felt last week, and how it was the result of one small slip of not. Literally, I hadn't filled my prescription on time. And that seems hilarious. That seems like, oh, she didn't take her. I had enough pills. Don't worry. I got enough. But the thing is, I let my prescription expire before I went to go in, and I had to go and renew my prescription. I had to go and do all of those things. And the thing is, I could have just not and sat and been in withdrawals by now because I've run out of medication, that sort of thing. No, that's not what actually, like, I still landed up going and doing it. So but the point I'm trying to make is, when you are so at fucking rock bottom, that actually just existing and choosing to stay alive is the best thing that you've done all week, that's a good thing. That's a triumph. And then and that's how small it has to go, is into the atomic habits. When it is something as deep as depression, you have to go that far. You have to be like, okay, no, we really need to appreciate the tiniest unit of achievement, because you know what if I am that useless? And then what? I'm not going to sit and have a fight about it for a million hours about how useless I am. I might as well accept it, right? I must accept my uselessness by deciding that I would like to be a little bit less useless. That's it. Anyway, your kids wanted to kidnap Galente so we could have him all the time. I get that. I'm so glad you guys, we'll have to hopefully speak about your guys's. Galente still needs to talk to us about the movie, so I'm so glad you guys got to watch it. Okay, just like throwing that thing with Az, it's the straw that breaks the camel's back sometimes. I never fault people for a tiny thing setting them off, because I know it's the one more straw makes many. Yeah, exactly. It's so strange. Humans are so strange that way. I sort of get it. I don't get that bad, but I get to the point where I don't want to be anywhere where people know me and stay alone completely. Yeah, exactly. It's anyone can have it. Anyone will have a different scale, because everybody has a different consciousness. They literally have a different mind. So everyone has a different scale. They just, people go, the pain scale, when the doctor asks you about your pain, they go, your pain level is in the worst pain you've ever experienced. And like somebody who's had a child, the worst pain they've experienced is probably worse than somebody that's only lived 10 years and they haven't had any of that sort of experience. So we're all living on our a scale of our own experiences. So nobody can really, yes, we can try and say, oh, well, your experience is worse, mine is worse than yours. What the? On a scale, on your own scale, when you are suboptimal, everybody wants you to be optimal. That's a good thing. We want to be optimal. So whatever your optimal is, we need that to be a thing. Whatever your suboptimal thing is, we don't want that, because we want better for everyone. I never know how to answer the pain scales. Pain scales is the worst pain you've ever experienced in your life. Okay. That's actually an easier kind of thing when it isn't the worst pain that you've experienced. You're like, Yeah, you're right. It's not that sort. It's like, no, the doctor's just asking you what the pain is like. I don't like. I've got a scale for that, which was breaking my hip. Uh, so I don't know. Yeah, it's so strange. Pain scales. I don't know how this helps. Same thing with life pain. It's like, okay, well, I've been through some shit, so I guess I'm okay. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah. Anyway, point is, no matter what the smallest unit of measurement in your life is, if we go to that tiny, the smallest parts of improvements, which is the whole thing that we spoke about in the beginning of the fundamentals, where they freaking painted the trailer white so that we could see the dust specks in the cycling thing, and then the bikes became optimal because they weren't dusty and tiny things, little things like that. I started at the trash, and guess what, guys? The trash was not low enough. The trash was not a small enough habit for me. Okay. Lots of nerve endings there. Different kinds of pains too. Yeah, zero fucks. There is like, oh, is it bone pain or is it muscle pain? Was like they're pain. That's all. They're all very different pains, and I think all of us would be like, can we just not have the pain? I think that's the whole idea. Thank you. They're great kids too. I'm not surprised that your kids are as smart as they are. Oh, so lucky. Okay. And I say lucky to have met them. IRL. So let's go into it. But that's enough of the spur carrying on. Let's get into the actual positive action of this, because we are not, guys, as much as we went through the fundamentals, we are not through this. Okay. We are just beginning, because we're talking about cues. This was basically the man who didn't look right. This chapter is about your cues. Okay. It's about being able to see things, to point at things and call them out, and that's how we'll change them. So I got at this point, and then pointing them out took me down another path, and I got, but that doesn't matter. The point is we still need these things. Like the verbalization, I actually did do a verbalization. Sorry. One of the things is we're bringing things to your consciousness, your habits to your consciousness. So I actually even verbalized some of the bad things. I was like, oh, I'm going back to bed, even though I know I shouldn't. That's like, I was doing that. And yeah, I was aware of it. But I still wasn't able to pull myself out off until quite a while. Anyway, cool. So the best way to start a new habit. So we've got, what we've learned from this one is that we have to go and we have to be aware. Okay, we have to go and verbalize. We have to go down to the smallest units, be aware, and then we need to see how we can configure our habits into a way that we can change them. But there's something more. Okay, best way to start a new habit. Because remember, like I said, all of my habits were, because it all changes in a week. All of my habits, all of the tiny changes and things like that, all of the tiny bits that I was doing, a lot of them are negative. When you are depressed, there is a lot that's going to be negative. There's hardly, your standard has to be very low, actually. Your standard of achievement is much lower than what somebody else that is like a freaking marathon runner and successful, I don't know, businesswoman is doing. It's completely different. And you can't sit and look at that. So this is now another way is, okay, well, fine. So we got the bad habits right. Cool. But the point is, I want to have the good ones. Where the fuck do I get the good habits? How can we find them? So we've decided we have to figure out who we want to be. And then we need to take steps to prove to ourselves who that person, that we are that person. Cool. So we have that tiny thing of we need to see all the little habits, what's positive, what's negative. Let's just have an idea of our habits and then see what we do with them. Well, he goes into in chapter 5, the best way to start a new habit. What are we going to discuss here? Sure thing, Mom. Like the damn stream. Thank you. Yeah, so what we talk about here is talks about the, research. So, like I said, every chapter has sort of an intro that gives you the context of sort of research or examples or stories of what we're learning in that. I don't even need this actually, so this will work. What we're learning in that chapter. So he talks about there were 3 groups in this research. There were 248 participants, and they were tracking their workout habits over 2 weeks, the people. And this is how it went. So we had the group 1 control group, where it was just like track the exercise that you do in this week. And then it's in these 2 weeks. Then there's group 2, a motivation group. Oh, motivation. They were given the motivation they were given material about the benefits of exercise and a speech from researchers about heart disease risks and why. So they're given all the motivation for why they need to make healthier choices and go into their new habit of better exercise. Group 3, same as group 2, which is they have the motivation and everything, but they had to formulate a plan. So they actually had to go and write, I will exercise on day, whatever, at time, whatever, in place, whatever. That's where they said they were going to go. So they have but then there was these they had no, they were the control group. So in the results, there were 35 to 38% exercised in group 1 and group 2. So there's no difference between group 1 and group 2. The difference actually came in group 3, where 91% of them exercised. So because they had this plan and this exact pinpoint of when they're going to do it, it actually happened. Now, that's not to say, okay, cool, because it's that then we can just start going back to that discussion of goals, where it's like, oh, well, I had a goal and I wrote it down, and that's what made me successful. It's like, no, you had an actual objective and you said what you were going to do and when and where. That's what they took out of this research. Without implementation intention, that's the thing of I will action at time in place. The implementation intention, we leave it all up to chance. There's no clarity or concrete plan, which is beautiful because it is. It's just like, I'm gonna exercise. I'm gonna exercise more. I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm quitting smoking. I don't know, that we say all of these things, but we actually don't actually have the literal tomorrow I will do this. But obviously it has also happened where we go, I will exercise tomorrow. And and then we've gone and we have not exercised the next day. What happens there? How does that happen? How do we just fall out of that? So even while that is is something that we want to give an implementation an intention. We want to show our intention. That isn't the only thing that's part of behavior. We know that. But let's have a look. The point is, if you don't have it at all, if you don't have that implementation intention, then nothing's really happening. Okay? You need a concrete plan that helps you to navigate through things that would stop you from getting to the task. So there you go. When you have this, I am going to exercise tomorrow. Tomorrow is also, I'm going to exercise tomorrow in the gym. I think I can still land up finding excuses on my way to the gym. And I say on my way as in from the time I wake up to not going to the gym, I will figure out a way to convince myself not to go to the gym. But if you're like, I will put on my pants and I will get on the bicycle at 9 o'clock, giving yourself a little bit more of a specific time helps it not get tied down to chance. Because a lot of the time, this is actually even what happened when I felt better last week, was by chance. I just happened to say, you know what, I'm going to go for a walk. And I don't do that. That's not a thing. It's summer here. We don't walk. But it was the best thing for me to do. I walked for maybe 10 minutes. It wasn't a walk. It was just, and the fact that I was outside and feeding the air and all of that stuff, that made a change in my behavior. But gosh, all of that, I had to go to a very unhappy place for me to go and have a fucking walk. I had like inspiration had to strike for this to happen. So we're sitting around waiting for life to happen. That's not going to help us. Lunk time is over. Lurk time is now. Enjoy. Yeah. Where the flyover ears come? They're not flyover ears. These are some major ears. Okay. Okay, so form, implementation, intention, habit stacking. Okay, so a way to have your implementation intention is to find a habit that does work. So that's why he made us write all of our habits down in this other part here, so that we have a reference of them, that we can go and look at them and see, okay, which ones can we work on here? Can we take away? Can we improve? Can we remove? Can we move around? Which ones can we use to create new habits? So what he's said here is you actually need a good way to make that implementation of the when, because an implementation intention is I will action when place. That's the thing. So he says, okay, fine. What you can do is you habit stack, and that's where you place your intention. Because having this intention over here all by itself, it can do nothing. But we need to find the right cue. Remember, we had cues, rewards, all of that. This is what he's using. So the implementation plan of how you intend to implement a habit, you have to leverage the most common cues, which is your everyday habits, in order to make this work. So your time and location are your most common cues. That's why this whole thing of implementation intention exists. So that's why you have to say, I will do this by tomorrow or whatever. And it has actually kind of happened this week for me, because I said, and that will even be even more, relevant in the next, until at the end of this chapter or the next few chapters. We talk about environment, and I've decided to change my work environment at least once a week. And one of the things is that I said on Wednesday, I will change my work environment or whatever. So I have a plan of what I'm doing tomorrow, where I'm going, I've decided that already. And just from having that thought over the weekend and then verbalizing it to several people, and now made it accountable. I've made myself accountable because I'm going to see people. Like, yeah, it's actually just fallen into place in spite of myself. Just hold on. Just need to breathe. Anyway, the format of an implementation intention is when situation X arises, so that's time. When situation X arises, I will perform response Y. So it's like, where is my cue? And then where is my response? What response will I give myself? So when situation X arises, I'll perform response Y. I will behavior at time in location. So that's what you actually literally, it's so cringy, isn't it? It's like, oh yes, look at the self-helpness of it all. Yeah. It has to be that little, that, because these are the sentences that a person is saying to themselves in their head. They need to be. These are the sentences we need to be saying to ourselves. I will in this time. And then when that time comes and we don't perform that response, yes, that can lead to the negative thought spiral, for sure. But oh, fuck off you. I'm trying to be positive. Yeah. Gordon. Fuck you. Okay, so where are we? He doesn't know what tone I'm in when he walks out of the room, so he always makes a joke. So when I'm trying to be serious, he's always trying to make a joke. So it just doesn't work. Okay, what he does talk about here is he goes into he gives us this little subheading of habit stacking, right? And then he gives us a sort of intro on top of that. He's got habit stacking, a simple plan to overhaul your habits. So when we're talking about this habit stacking idea, he introduced it here. A way to do it's a good way to create new habits is by using old habits, right, as an implementation intention. So the basis of habit stacking is based on this interesting story of Dennis Diderot, a poor man who came into a lot of money from the Empress of Russia. He bought a robe, and because this robe was nice and big and expensive, he started making other purchases. So this knock-on effect of, oh well, my environment, like this possession over here, oh, I got a new keyboard, now I need a new mouse, kind of thing. Those sort of knock-on, one purchase leading to another. It was called something called the Diderot effect, or however you want to call it. Basically, the idea there is we often decide what we're doing next based on what we just finished doing. Makes sense, right? So it's like, okay, that's how we can try and change our behavior. If we look at, like, we have our list of our habits or whatever, if we look at this and we figure out little parts where we can try and bring in the new behavior, that will help us decide to do the new behavior after we decide to do a new behavior after we've done our mundane thing. So i.e. actions become cues for new behaviors. That's how you trick yourself into doing something new. That's the best way to create a new habit. That's what he's trying to tell you. So this is the way habit stacking works. Okay.
Who shares?
James Clear and BJ Fogg. Tiny Habits recipe. So it's very similar to another habits book about habits. So come look at the habit stacking, Gordon.
Fogg.
No, come here. Where?
Does he not think I'm joking?
No, Fogg off. Yeah. Very funny, yes. Okay, look here. You see there's habit stacking. We get a cue, craving, response, reward. That's all our habits, right? That's what our habits are made up of. But we chain habits together to put in new ones. So if we have a habit of doing a certain thing, like going to smoke, maybe we can put the habit of going for a walk while we have a smoke in there.
Got 10 stories there.
Okay. I tried to make it positive. I tried to make it make sense to him, but whatever. So basically what it does is we're using this.
Did you better than me?
He's very funny. So the habit stacking, we have the cue, craving, whatever. So basically we could do habit 1, but you see habit 1 leads to habit 2. So habit 1 can be the cue for habit 2, right? It makes sense. So use current habits to stack on new ones. That's what we need to do. So the examples, what we need, let's make examples here, class. Okay, I want some from you guys, and I want examples. Okay, so I said, let's go when I go for a smoke, I will walk. Go for a walk. Because now my habit of smoking, my craving, means that I need to go and walk and smoke at the same time. Okay, Gordon is craving your attention. Yes, he is. He's doing all the, so he can just pick up vaping. You know what? It's the same thing, Tiamat. That is true. That's a valid thing. It's literally when I see, that's a big change. That when I want to smoke, I will vape instead. That's a big habit change. But that is kind of what a lot of people have landed up doing. When I want to smoke and I'm inside, like actually just thinking, I would wonder if this is a valid example of this, guys. If you vape, you turn into Dane. So look, when you go for a smoke, like what if with habit chain, habit stacking. Okay, instead, this is now habit hacking kind of thing, because when you want to smoke, you put in the habit of vaping. But the reason that you are vaping instead of smoking is because you can vape in front of people a lot more than you can smoke in front of people. Seriously, if you don't vape into people's faces, it's a whole lot, it smells a whole lot less than smoking. So I don't know, it's a very drastic change that would take a lot of it would be a lot more complex than just that one decision. But if you get your brain hooked enough, you can utilize that craving to, like, I agree, you actually can, taking one habit and replacing it with another is a way of dealing with it. But what does seem to be better is having a habit that's current. That's why I said the smoking, right? Because we can't say, Gordon, stop smoking, because that's not, we've been saying Gordon stop smoking since Gordon started, which is many years ago. So like that hasn't worked. So what can we do instead? Okay, fine. Well, then can we maybe just do the walking? Can you walk and smoke at the same time? Maybe do that. That seems healthier than sitting and smoking. I don't know. Isn't that a thing? And then that can make you at least have more steps in a day. Like, you're still smoking. And then maybe if you stop smoking, you can just replace the smoke with the walk. Like, I don't know. Wouldn't that be? Can I have another example? I want to think of another example here. When I go for a smoke, I'll go for a walk. Okay, so I've got, what's my habits? Okay, my habits is I decide to make coffee. A lot of the time, for procrastination reasons, I decide I need another cup of coffee, which is also why I land up being very breathless, because I've had too much caffeine in a day and I have heart palpitations. You just bought some new keycaps. That's a bad habit. So I can't, no, not that. That's too far out with the keycaps. I need another example. Daisy, no. Okay, so coffee. What can I do with the coffee habits? Okay, when I make coffee, I must fill my water bottle. I will fill my water bottle. So when I drink coffee, when I drink an espresso, or I will drink a glass of water. Okay, so that does ensure that I drink more water. So I don't land up just smoking. I mean, just smoking, just drinking coffee. I drink more water. Does that seem weak? I go to bed too late and I'm always tired in the morning. Yeah, you see. So how do we use that? What are some of the habits, Lucy? What are some of the habits that you have before going to bed that keep you awake? Because now my habits, we've got some other. Okay, so we're going a bit back here. We're going a bit back to the habits. Okay, the daily habits, positive, negative, or neutral one. Okay, so like for me, like I said, most of mine are negative. But we need to figure them out in any case. But now if we need to, but the point is having them in front of you and just looking at them, and then thinking about new habits inside all of those. That's the whole little hack. So, okay, so your habit here, and I'm saying you, but I have the same thing. I stay up too late. Look, I've decided that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do stay up late. And that's what I'm going to do. But I need to have a routine on my Tuesdays. I need to make sure that I do wind down after the stream. I don't go and start a new stream. Actually, no, guys, we've got this, right? Remember, I want to go to bed. I don't want to sit too long into Sitch and Adam's stream. But I did decide when they get to 69 likes on their stream, then I can leave. And that was the thing. It was a good, even though I wanted to stay all the time, I'm like, no, that means you've stayed long enough. Like, stupid. That's a stupid cue. How silly are my habits? That's a stupid cue, guys. It's so silly. Okay, I just realized I read the wrong book. I thought we were reading Atomic Blonde, the novelization. It's not the same thing at all. Oh, we'll do the Atomic Blonde next. Okay, Mysterious. That's legit self-control. I should read before bed instead of doom scrolling. Okay, so what are we going to do? Let's see. It's a whole thing, and it will get him invested in what he's putting in his body. The walk. Wait. You can get him into mod vapes. There's a lot you can do with it. You can customize your vape fluid. Oh, he's tried it a little bit. He's gotten a little bit into it, but he just ends up leaving it. And I'm more interested in the vape than him. Like, it's my phone. Okay, so no, I want this practicality. I like how collaborative you guys can be. I need your help. Okay, that's legit self-control. What the deciding to leave a Stitch and Adam stream when it gets to 69. Leave Dean. I've stayed there about to like 70 something. Why don't you go for a walk? Stop being adorable. Get out. Don't come and look at me with that face. Look at me with another face.
Looking at me like I'm in trouble.
You did look at me like you were in trouble. Yes. Oh, Gordon. Anyway, okay, so no, you're not listening, so you're not part of the class. Okay, so Gordon has to deal with my habits, right? So what he needs to do now, he's going to go and doom scroll as well. This phone thing is a problem. What can we do instead of the phone? Or you know what? No. I think we can use this doom scrolling thing, right? Okay, because we have the 69. Okay, Lucy, the 69 rule. Okay, that is actually a thing. I made it a silly cue. I had a silly cue. Okay, so I had the habit. Here we are, boys and girls. I had the habit. Shall I diagram this? I had the habit where the cue is I finish my stream, okay? And that cue means that Stitch and Adam starts, right? That also means that I've got to go to bed. But I spend some time on Stitch and Adam, and that keeps me awake. And then I get excited because I'm talking to everyone and I'm carrying on. And I'm interested in what they're doing. And there's super chats and da-da. But then I decided, no, at one, inspiration struck. Because remember, I wasn't doing any of this short sort of shit on purpose. But now we're trying to identify the way it's worked in my life without even trying. And then when we try, it will be even more effective. Or as long as we implement it properly. That's what I'm hoping. What happened was okay, so I had the cue. The cue is okay, finishing the time. The time is actually the cue. One of the most common things is time and place. Cue, 12 o'clock, okay, in my time. The craving is to sit and just chat to people in the Stitch and Adam chat. Cool. My response is actually to go in, find the chat, go and get into it. And then my reward is enjoying everybody, right? Cool. But then my habit the habit that I get my reward, but then the habit of one day, by chance, it was like, oh, how many likes do they have? And we were talking about who's getting likes, whatever. And it was like, when we get to 69 likes, that's when I can go to sleep. And that was the cue or whatever. And it was very fun and rewarding for me because I was watching their likes go up, and then some people would like, and then everyone, like, we would have a little bit of fun. So the cue of the 69 number on the like buttons, that turned into the cue of now you must go to sleep. You must turn off your phone. And that's the thing. So look, that's not to say that that's optimal. It should just be don't go into the stream or go in there, say blah, 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 and then run out. Okay, change that up. You don't have to spend so much time on there. But let's just give ourselves a break. Let's understand that we've been doing this for a very long time. And that habit of jumping into the stream and then dying of sleep, like falling asleep to it, we want to change that. even though we still want to go on the stream, we're gonna change the way that we deal with it. And that little cue of that number is what went, haha. So, Lucy, I've only just now considered how you are in a wildly different time. It's very wild. Okay, so with our habits, you say doom scrolling. So do you do doom scrolling? The only thing that then happens, which is another habit that Gordon and I have, we scroll through shorts on YouTube to try and find one that makes us laugh. Very bad addiction, because you're looking for one that gives you the reward and then you can go to sleep. So you need to find the right video, and I know that relates to to all other kinds of video watching, but you need to find the right cute kitty cat video that makes you really laugh, and then you'll go to bed. Like there's all of those cute, the TikTok. No. I'm hearing that you need to build this keyboard from scratch. That would be great. I wish clocks went to 69. What about 59? Yeah, it still works. Yeah. 10:59, it works. Okay, so we need to figure out. Okay, so the 69 rule, Sitch and Kitty leaves Sitch and Adam. That's the end of it, right? So that's like our little coping mechanism. So if we want to use the 69 rule, we have to, I don't know, Lucy, do we try that you can read, I don't know how many tweets you read in a doom scroll. Can you do 69 or 629 tweets? And you go, this is my first one, this is my second one, this is my third. You can count them, but then you're done. Like that, I don't know, that's the closest. Like when I do that, you see, but then you're still doing the habit, you're just cutting down. So I don't know how if that works. Oh man, haha, yes, possibly. I don't know. Otherwise, instead of doom scrolling, so okay, when I doom scroll, that's the thing. You're trying to use the power of your habit that you doom scroll. You're trying to use that. You're trying to use that craving to make you do something else. When I go, I have a stitch counter on. Yeah, see, it's very that, but you see, that's adding steps. So I don't know how effective it will be. I don't know. You tell us. But there is something we need to use that craving. See, mine was just a spontaneous. It was a spontaneous 69. It was just a spontaneous decision that this number look thing is my limit. Okay, and that helped me get this trigger away. And so what could be the limit for you of you, because you want to read instead. One of the examples that he does give in the book is when I make my bed, I will put my book on my pillow. That was an example that he used. So when I make so that's chaining the habit of, I have the habit of cleaning, of making my bed every morning. Now I'll just add this one little sprinkle by putting the book on my bed. And when you get to your bed, you will then see the book. That's a new cue. So yeah, you've got this normal habit over here, habit 1, which is your normal cue, where you go, okay, I'm going to bed, and then I'm gonna lie down and look at my phone. But now you've got the cue of, here is your book. So where's your phone? That's it. Where is your phone when you go to bed? Where is it? Okay, we need to continue, but think about it, because this helps going forward. All of this, I'm trying to implement it as I learn about it, but at the moment, but actually it is a case of you need to think about these things and learn more and get through the book and figure out the next steps because this is all great, but it all builds upon itself. And then you realize, oh, I'm not doing it right. That's what I've done when this is like, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Goes and does a little bit of the thing, thinks, realizes how powerful it is, but also fails. And then it's like, and here's the next bit. Oh, that makes sense. So I'm trying to do all the steps without knowing the steps. It's stupid. New charge spot would help a lot. That is coming. Okay. Lucy, read Law Olympus instead. It's a webcomic you can read on your phone. That's reading something else instead. That's good. I'm hearing that 6 number way too much for the work setting. I'm sorry. It's just a number. Okay. So this was the whole idea of habit stacking. Just remember that. We're trying to use the cravings, basically the power of those other habits. We're trying to use them to put our new habits in. That's the best way to make a new habit. Okay, so that's we go to motivation is overrated. Here it is, Lucy. This is where we're going. Okay, we are going to the new charging port area. That's this is what's happening, because motivation is overrated. Environment often matters more. That's chapter 6. I don't know what page that is on, but you should have the book by now. Same day delivery, Andrew. Okay. Modern solutions. That's a good idea, Andrew. Okay. So here is our intro. He tells us about Anne Thorndike, choice architecture of the hospital cafeteria. She did a study of the choice architecture of the hospital cafeteria. They were trying to make people have healthier choices at the hospital cafeteria. Okay. So what they did was they changed where they put stuff. So they had soda, but initially on the left-hand side, they had beverage refrigerator that does not contain bottled water. So they had refrigerators that that had soda. It was just soda in there. And then they had water, beverage refrigerator that contains bottled water. So they put the water, you can see there. There's the black squares are the ones that have water in them. And they're normal water fridges. And then these had soda in. The gray ones had soda. So in the second one, they went and they put basket bottled water. This is now the second one, is in like when they created their plan, when they implemented this plan. They didn't speak to anyone. They just put stuff in there and then they left it. They didn't say, what's good for you, and put up posters and shit. No. They put the water in, they put water in next to the soda. Not that they took the soda out. They put water next to the soda. Then they they kept the water, the refrigerators with water in. You can see those little black ones. But then they had baskets of bottled water, which you see that here a lot in Dubai. Starbucks actually has a lot of it as well. Baskets. And then they also have, they put the water together with the soda. So there was no soda by itself, there was water with it. Yes, they increased the amount of water that was available, but that still doesn't make the results any less cool. Okay? Because soda sales dropped by 11.4% and water sales increased by 25.8%. Okay? They didn't decrease the amount of soda that was available. They just increased the amount of water that was available. They made the water more visible, and the water was increased. The water sales increased. So people, what they've deducted from things like this, and you know that this is how supermarkets are designed, the way where things are is designed to make you buy them. So it is, people are choosing products because of where they are rather than what they are. So yes, of course, the whole point is we're in the cafeteria, we're going to buy food and drink. Duh. Now, when it comes to the decision between what we should eat or what we should buy, it will then depend more on where they are. So people started drinking more water. What's happening? We're drinking more water. Mm-hmm. Product placement is a thing, okay? So that's for the results there. That was the little intro that he gave us. Very interesting stuff. Okay, then there was Kurt Lewin, who made a formula that behavior is a function of the person and their environment. So a cute little formula there. And that's what it means. Behavior is a function of a person in their environment. Makes sense, Lucy. Suggestion, impulse buying. So this is the example. This person being put into an environment, having products in front of you will make you impulse buy them. It's the kind of thing, is like, it's things you don't need, but because the candy is, and I will say candy because you guys understand, because the candy is all lined up before the payment aisle, then you the payment cashiers, then you're going to buy the chocolate because it's just in front of you, isn't it? And I use candy and chocolate interchangeably just to piss you off. Okay, so not because something is wanted, but because it's in front of them, presented to them. So that is the kind of thing that we're seeing. We see it just in that behavior. So now, obviously, we want to apply it to everyday life. How can we hack our brains? How can we use this to help us? So just another example is shelving placement. The more expensive or whatever ones will be in the top, and at eye level, and the sort of cheaper ones that you're not so interested in, those will be at the lower level. Literally, where things are does matter. Okay, so making something the most obvious. Now remember, the law that we are looking at is that the first law is to make it obvious. To make behavior change is to make, you need to make the change an obvious one, or to make the option, the better option, the most obvious one. So that's literally what they did by giving people more water, having water more available, more in front of people. They see water, they think about water. Okay, well, water tastes good. Boom. They are making you turn down water as well, a lot more. If you're walking in this area over here, you're only having to say no to water when you, oh, what shall I have? Okay, you go in the entrance. You have to say no to water maybe here. You probably won't see there, the water in there. You have to say no to soda. Oh, I don't know what these are. These are just, I don't know, stations. But point is, you have to say there's bigger places for soda to be. And you have to say no to soda several times. No, no. But instead, now they've said, oh, you have to walk in. Here's water. Boom. Oh, yeah, here's water, water, water. So you actually need to say no to water a lot more as well. And you have the option. You can, yes, you do still have soda in front of you. You still have to say no to soda and yes to water. But you've got water in your face, man. It really is cool. Did you hear about the popcorn movie experiment? What? No? A topic on topic to this. Candy and chocolate. Isn't that like saying meat and chicken? No. You need more brands of water to just, to choose from. Chew a specific flavor of gum while you do specific actions. Chewing that gum before you, when you need motivation for that action, will help you get in the right headspace. Yeah, well, you're giving yourself a cue. Hey, diesel. We are looking diesel. Hey, is it diesel? Because South Africans say diesel, okay? Either way. So please don't be upset if I'm saying your name wrong. But good to see you. Glad you're not in YouTube jail or anything. So we're talking about water being in front of you. And that being a dye cell. What? What dye cell or no, anyway. Oh, dye cell. Oh, I'm like, what are you saying? D's. Anyway, so we're talking about making good choices obvious. So making them the most obvious, making it easy to do the healthy thing. You're saying it right. It's all good. Okay, cool. So that's what we want to hack, right? We want to use the most obvious option to be better. But now so the whole reason what we're using, the thing that we're using in this hack is human perception, which is, I mean, literally the sensory information that Andrew, what you were talking about the gum. That's basically, you've just decided that the sense of taste is going to be the perception thing that you use to cue a certain motivation or a certain task or a certain thing. They say popcorn purchases increased across the board. It was outlawed. What? Wait, hold on. Okay, subliminal messaging. Basically, that did an experiment. They spliced in popcorn ads, and people eating popcorn in the beginning of frames of a movie. People would notice it, but their brains wouldn't. Yes. Even there is even stuff like in terms of subliminal, where even cocaine addicts that were shown cocaine for an imperceptible amount of time, they had the craving for cocaine from that. It's actually, yeah, I can believe that. Axel just wants to get love. Oh, Mama, come here, baby. Come eat. Oh, yeah, eat it. Oh, here you go. Oh, what do you think? What do you? Sorry. Pavlov, yeah. So, yes. I had a craving to give Daisy scritches because she's so cute. Yes. Okay. So, so that was one example. So, even when you are not consciously perceiving the thing, which is what you're talking about with the popcorn experiment in subliminal messaging, even then, that's what? Why the page is unresponsive? Wait. Oh, it is unresponsive. I need to move around it. I will need to rewind. Thank you. We're just reloading. Axel killed the page. Come on. Uh-oh. Well, we're back to the beginning. Let's start again. I'm kidding. This is just where we are, by the way. This is where we finish this stream, part 3. Okay, but anyway, let's continue the first law. We're still on the first law. Make it obvious. Okay. So we're talking about human perception. Visual cues are strongest. So yes, Katra was talking about the taste and that sort of thing. But actually, even seeing that gum wrapper eventually would be a powerful thing as well. Although, of course, olfactory, those sort of cravings from scent is definitely a thing. But we are constantly using our eyes if we are sighted people. Duh. Gotta run. Have a good one. Thanks, Diesel. Thanks for saying hi. So visual cues are strongest. We spend most of our brain power visually. Our sensory, apparently, we have like 10 million, let's say we've got 10 million sensory receptors, whatever. No, 11 million. 10 million of them, so most of them, the majority of our receptors are for sight. So sight is the easiest place for us to go. That's not to say that the other senses doesn't work, that our cravings don't come from different other sensory input, but visual stimuli are the ones that mostly work for us. That's just on average. So fine, use the gum. That's not it literally is just pairing a cue with the behavior that you're trying to do. So visual cues are strongest. So that whole idea of putting the book on your pillow, you see the book. Also, you can't help but read. Literally, once you've learned to read, you will always try to read. You don't stop yourself. So even then, you're going to notice it's a book at some point. Of course, you can easily get into the habit of just throwing your book off your pillow before you go to bed. Like, that is a thing. It happens. But we're trying to make that connection before we can fall out of the habit. Anyway, visual cues are strongest. It's the greatest catalyst. So you don't have to be, I love this, you don't have to be the victim of your environment. You can also be the architect of it. So, yeah, we're just existing inside our environments and doing all the habits that we are unhappy about or wish we could throw out or things like that. That's what we're doing. We're hoping to kick certain habits. Such an Adam, we're premiering shit. Shut up. I need to put my phone on, sorry, my watch on do not disturb. Just hold on. There we go. Okay. Cool. So, how to design your environment for success. This is what Lucy and I are going to talk about, where we're putting her charger. Okay. So there's research cases, of course. So again, the same structure. Every bit of the book has the same sort of structure of the introduction that gives you a bit of an idea of what we're trying to tell you, and then he gives you like a few examples, and that's how we learn from him. So the research cases: energy usage story in Amsterdam, and urinal stickers. We have fun here. So let's go to the energy usage and forget the urinal stickers for a second. Okay. So energy usage storage in story in Amsterdam. So they found that the people who there was a town that had considerably lower electricity consumption than another town, but the prices were the same and the family sizes were the same. So it didn't really make sense. What they did find was most of these places had electrical meters. The people that used more power had electrical meters in the basement versus people that had them in the hallway. So the people that had them like in the hallway, like by the staircase or whatever, they were more aware of their electricity consumption. Therefore, they were more conservative about it. So it was the most obvious thing is that, they had it they had it in front of them. That's what changed. So you're more likely to notice a cue that stands out. Duh. So if you want to read before bed and you need a cue, we need the cue to be reading. Having absolutely no books in sight, you're gonna need a cue to open the drawer and look for your book. You're gonna need a cue to do all of these things, as opposed to, wait, we know literally down to the thing of when we go to bed, we take whatever's on top of our pillow away so that our head can go on the pillow, or we lift the blanket, right? All of those things happen. Those are cues. We look down, visualize what you do when you go to bed. Do you see it? You go, okay, cool. Now imagine you put a new cue in there, and the cue is this book. Now what you have to do is say no to it. You have to say no to it. And yes, that can totally be a thing. That can totally happen. You can go, oh, fuck you, book, I'm going to sleep. Fuck you, book, I'm reading my phone instead. But you've still had that decision. You still had to do it. It was still there at a point where you could just start that habit. That's where you could have started the habit, is by, okay, cool. Even like the what's the name, the changing from doom scrolling Twitter to reading a graphic novel on your phone. That's like, okay, before or when you're holding your phone for going to Twitter, you have to, as well, the cue, use your phone to go and watch and look at the graphic novel. It's still hard. Nobody's trying to say that it's all just easy. As soon as you pick where you're going to put your behavior, it will happen. It's just that you're making it easier for yourself to make that happen. So the whole idea of, you have the habit of taking whatever is on top of your pillow off your pillow before you go to bed, or you have the habit of literally lying your head on your pillow. So you use that habit to point yourself at your book, and then you go, okay, I'm going to read my book now. And you read, and you also, we need to get to the rest of the book, but you read You read one page. That you've done it. Boom. You've done the reading before bed, bitch. And then maybe you do it again, and it gets better and better. But that's, you just needed to get that one action in so that you can chain in the habit, stuck that habit. So I like the idea that we need to find a cue that stands out. So that's why I wanted to talk to you guys. What? I'm competitive, so I would try and drive up that number. What number are you talking about? I kind of hate how much they upload now. The stuff is fine, but it's too much. I have a charging station in the kitchen, so I guess I can leave it there. Well, it's very difficult, but you're already having withdrawals for staying away from your phone. Okay, so here's urinal stickers. So what they did is a visual cue, talking about visual cues. So we said we want a cue that stands out. So what they did is that, I'm sure people have heard about this, where they put a sticker on the urinals that looked a little bit like flies, like a fly. And what happened is the men started aiming for the fly. And people took this analogy as, oh, well, you need to have a goal. No. Literally, it was the visual cue that there was something there. So they started peeing at it. And guess what? It made them reduce spillage. They didn't spill as much urine as before because they had something to aim for visually. Not, oh, well, they had a goal. No, visually, it was just like, well, there's my urine stream and there is a fly. Fuck you, fly. And it happened. People, that's incredible. It's just natural. That seems like the best way to manipulate people is by just giving them opportunities. Make it the most obvious. So, yeah, that's what having the visual cue of having the book on your pillow is supposed to help. That's how it's supposed to help. But of course, you can go and push right through that and take away that motivation, because we have the whole thing of, we have the cue, the craving, and then the response and the reward. If we have the cue of the book, we have the craving to read the book, but we have the larger craving to look at our phone. We move the book and we go and look at our phone. And we have the reward of our phone, but we've left behind the reward of the book as well. So it's not rocket science for how we still do bad things, even though we understand what our bad behavior is about. Like, I'm understanding my bad behavior so well. Thank you, book. I got to try that in my house. My boys are blind and they have Sitch and Adam uploads. I mean, to grow a channel, more digestible videos are in order. I don't know, maybe I just, because I have like 50 alerts every 3 minutes, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, I suppose if you're used to the notifications, yeah. Okay, so I think I just like the stream. I don't mind either way. I just know that I watch the streams more than the clips because I like to be in the chat when they happen. But then again, having the more digestible little bits, like drinkers chasers, that's great. Anyway, practical examples. Let's do more of the practical. Okay, so we had the urinal stickers, but then he did have his own example. He's like apples. Okay, so we had urinals, but also apples. So what he said was just an example. And I know having examples doesn't mean that suddenly everything will be better. It's just identify those examples in your life. If you can, please share them in the chat because I would like to know. Hi, Placid. We're trying to figure out visual cues for the habits we would like to manifest in our lives. So what he would do is he wanted to be healthy and he wanted to eat apples. Good idea. But what he kept doing is buying apples and putting them in the crisper box in the refrigerator. Instead of that, so what he would do is by the time he would look into the crisper box and find the apples, they were already bad. So instead of putting them in their fridge, he actually put them in a big bowl, a big fruit bowl that was right in front of them. It's the same thing as, when people have donuts and things at the office. If there is going to be a spread every day with donuts and shit like that, you're more likely to go and eat them. So the point is and it would happen in my mom's house all the time. My mom, she bought wonderful food. We had such healthy choices in our house, but we just wouldn't see them. They wouldn't be in front of us, so we wouldn't eat them. And then when she says, "Oh, why haven't you eaten the apples?" Whatever, it's because they're all moldy now. They weren't in front of us. I'm not saying, "Oh, Mom, you should have put the freaking apples right in front of us." It's just that we're more likely to eat the apples when they're right in front of us. That's why women, if we're going to just bring it back to booba, that's why women have cleavage. They show off their cleavage. Look at them. If they're in front of you, you will look at them. That's it. It's just a me thing, I suppose. What's a me thing? I got to try then in my own. Some shit. Out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, well, that's the thing as well. That's the inversion, Flaccid. That's the inversion. Fruit bowl at the center of the table, you savages. Exactly. I didn't put I bought apples because they spoke about them, but also because I went to get dinner and to get lunch. Was it lunch? What did I buy? I don't know. I went to get something to eat and I was like, but there's no snacks in the house. But I want healthy snacks, so I'm gonna get apples. And I didn't put them in the fridge. They are there. So I mean, it is just trying things out. It's not like, now the book told me, so I'm gonna do it. It's just like, well, no, it makes sense. The visual cue of having this apple in front of my face, the apple's like, hey, eat me, bitch, eat me. So like, yeah, we need that. Market to yourself. If you want to make a habit a big part of your life, make the cues, not cure, the cue a big part of your environment. That makes sense. So the apples are not a big part of your environment because they're behind the door. The book is not a big part of your environment because it's in the bookshelf downstairs in the basement. Not a thing. Okay? Guitar in the cupboard versus in the living room. This resonated very much with me because literally the guitar is in the cupboard. It's there. I have a hook that I was supposed to put up so that I could have my guitar hanging there. Do you think it's up? No. But if we went and we hung it up, then I could fuck around with my guitar, man. So there you go. Let's actually do that. Hang up the guitar, Chintzia. Okay. Feed me, bitch. Yeah. Didn't Jordan Peterson say the best way to attract men was to have big boob woman in a car in a red dress because men will see success in red associated with right? Well, yeah. Alternatively, holiday eating. Grandma's house effect. What? Grandma's house effect? Like what? Having stuff in front of you. Yeah. Okay, so there's medication next to the tap. I've actually put my medication next to my bed. I just need to make sure that there's something to drink next to the bed. Otherwise, but the point is, a lot of the time I will be in bed and go, oh shit, I forgot to take my pill. And then I'm like, oh, now I have to get up. Oh, you know what, that's fine. I'll take it in the morning. Now it's not right next to the bed. So even if I do have the cue of, oh, I'm going to bed without my pill, it's like, oh, it's right there. It's right there. I'm making it easier for myself to just go and take that pill because it's right next to me. Then, oh no, but then I've turned off the lights, you see, and it's in the drawer next. Literally, my medication used to be in the drawer here where Daisy lives now. Medication's gone, don't worry. Daisy's not eating my medication. But yeah, that's the thing. Make the best choice the most obvious one. That makes I like that. It's another bumper sticker, but fuck you, it makes sense. Okay? Meaning the good habit cues need to be the most obvious in your environment. Apple's gonna be like, eat me, bitch. That's it. I have forgotten to do so many things because I don't have a visual cue. Well, that's the thing. It is apparently that visual cues are our most powerful ones. So I mean, it's taking up a lot of our brain space. So having them in front of you is important. The thing is that you need to then make sure that you're not blind to those cues. You have to find a real standout cue. Okay. So our own examples. Come, class, let's come up with our own examples. So, Lucy, you play guitar. That's awesome. I do play guitar, but I don't know. My old self plays guitar. Her guitar is over there. But if we put the guitar up on the wall, then the guitar is going to look at me and say, play me, bitch, play me, bitch, play me, bitch. And I mean, the PlayStation says play me, bitch. The computer says play me, bitch. All of this stuff, even this says read me, bitch. Like, all of these things are yelling at me. And we need the right things yelling at you. So I made my bed and laid my book out. Yay, there you go. Okay, look, even if you see now, you have to resist in the same way that we had to resist the people at this hospital cafeteria had to resist had more places to say no to water. Do you see that? More places for water to be available, and that caused them to buy more water and less soda. That's it. You are making the book more available to you than it was before. You don't have to add and the thing is, see, the reason with this, if we go back to the habit stacking, crazy, amazing hacks, man. Okay? Because habit stacking, right? You make your bed, right? You just said it. You make your bed. It's a habit. You've already got that habit going. Good for you. You're not saying, when I make my bed, I will read my book. No. You've just added the cue. That's it. You just added the cue. And then you've left it there. You left the cue. And now, yes, what does happen later on in this whole chain of habits that eventually when you get to the end of your day and you come to your bed, you will have a new cue that you didn't have there before. Yes, you don't now have to go and look for your book. You've made it easier for you. But what you've done is you've used the power of your previous habit to just get that tiny little detail done. You've used the other habits to implant the new one. You've inceptioned yourself. That's the whole idea. I love it. It's so cool. It's very exciting. Obviously, to start it and you feel like, oh, cool, that's great new stuff. But yeah, go do that. And then what happens is you will get to your bed. You'll be like, oh, well, yes, I put my book out. Yeah, okay, morning, Lucy. You were so positive. Great. Like, this is what I'm expecting from myself. Oh, Chintzia, look at you. You had such great intentions with your exercise shorts. You put your exercise shorts over here so that you would see them. Oh, and then I pick my exercise shorts up and yeet them because I'm tired. Okay? I don't go and exercise once I've gotten, like, there is still a choice that you have to still go and take action and do the habit that you're trying to put into yourself. But you've added a step. You've added another place that you have to now reject that new habit again, where you wouldn't have. So yes, there's soda. In this place, there was soda in the refrigerators, but there was also more water. So we're adding the cues. You design your environment. So, okay, cool. So there was the one example. Now I'm going to say that we're going to write here the book on the pillowcase. Book on pillow. Straight after. Because you're making bed. So, like, just to show that there's the current let's put it in the format that he did over here with the habit stacking. After current habit, I will new habits, right? After current habit, I will new habit. So after making the bed, I will put my book on my pillow. That's it. You've accomplished your fucking task. That's your new habit. Even if you're not going to read later, that's your new habit. Okay, and you've reminded yourself that time that you put the book on your pillow, you've reminded yourself that you want to be a person that reads before they go to bed. And just, I don't know, just for me, the visualization of, that's what it was like when I used to read when I was younger. I was like, oh, get in bed, just read. Oh, yeah, I love my book. Snip my book. I enjoy it. That's that sort of feeling, that reward. It's there when I put that book on my pillow. I think of that. It's in my brain. And then when we get to the bed, you have to now, you're hoping that your brain will feel all of the things it's supposed to feel when it sees the book. and then you're going to want to read it. And then we apply the rules that we get later in the book, where we're literally doing tiny little bits. So it's like, okay, cool, I read 1 page. Fuck yes, bitch, I did it. And eventually you get bigger. Okay. It's a spiral. What's this? Okay, wait. What? I've returned. What's happening? I remember when you received it from Sichina. You are so happy and made many promises. What's this? Received what? My guitar? Oh, from SA, South Africa. I was like, Sitchin Adam. I know, I made so many promises. Exactly. I made promises, and you know what I did with that promise? I put that in that case is sitting in the cupboard. Yes, it decluttered the place. Fine. But I put it away because it was sitting there and I played with it when it was on the ground. So you're so right. We need to bring it out. Bring the guitar out. Hang up the fucking guitar. I have returned. And yes, Grandma's house effect. Grandma's house is full of cakes and pies and cookies. So upon arrival, you are presented all the best and worst things. Okay. And you will eat a cookie every time you pass the post. Yes. The plate. If you have a mouse, if you give a mouse a cookie, he will tell all his friends, and then you have to call an exterminator. And you can buy many cats. Actually, you just have cats. Then you get taxmosis plus his kid. Oh gosh, that's the thing that pregnant women get. Yeah. Anyway, should be easy enough. You too. Don't give the mouse the cookie. Be Chad Book Club. What's up, Vincent? It's an unopened comic tab too, so it's a gift to my future self. Yes, future self. Go. Okay. So that's, you know what, that disappointment. I appreciate that disappointment. You need to play it more. I do, and you know what? I actually really. I'm gonna dream about it. Dreaming of playing musical instruments is great, but you know what? Actually going and playing them is great. Is even more amazing. And yes, I was so excited that I got it and I played it and I kept it there. And then I figured out there was space in the cupboard for it. So yes, I do like the idea of putting it away so that it's not in the way, but it's not looking at me anymore. I don't see it. So here is, what are we going to do? The hook. Thing is, we don't have shit. Hold on. Things still can be in your environment as reminders, but they can lose, you know, like your nose gets sick, or gets sick, you lose a certain scent, you become used to a certain smell. This is the guitar's hook, and it has been here since I got it the week that I got my guitar, and it's been sitting on top of the water cooler there, and it's become invisible because I didn't go, oh, I should put it. Eventually I stopped going, this needs to go up. But also, you know what? There was no implementation intention because I don't know where I'm putting this. So we don't know where this is going. I need to know where it's going before I can call someone up because we don't have a drill. Actually, I need to check if a friend of mine has a drill. I'll ask if Annie's got a drill. Otherwise, we just get someone to put it. No excuse. The point is, cues can also become, if you don't act on them, if you don't put them in the right place, they can become invisible. We don't want that either. Okay, so we used Lucy's example, nose blindness. That's it. I have a log cabin and can no longer smell the amazing wood smell. No, you live in a log cabin. Oh, is that a COVID thing, or it's just because you don't? If you go away for a while, do you at least smell it when you get back? You're like, okay, you get like a little of it. I'm very jealous too. Okay, so let's try another example. After making the bed, I will put book on my pillow. Okay. So, see, I guess I fold the blankets. I make the bed. Yeah. What can we do? I will do the book thing too, but what I've done is then when I get back to the bed. My going to bed routine is messed up because I'm going to bed late, so I'm going to bed after Gordon, so I'm unable to read. So I would need to figure that out. Wait a second. What? Did you smell it? Okay, so what's an example? Okay, so I'm trying to think of ones that really I must do. What would be a thing that I could do, that I would do? This is part of Jordan Peterson as well, that you would do to help yourself. What would I do? Okay, so if I'm thinking about waking up in the morning, getting dressed in exercise clothes, getting exercise, going cycling first thing in the morning would be a great habit. But that's a big change. Shit, I'm like, I keep thinking. You see, I keep thinking negatively about all of the things that are all of the good intentions that I've had before. That I'm like, okay, I've taken out the exercise bike before I've gone to bed before. Like that was a thing. But then I would be able to walk past it. But I guess now that I'm verbalizing to you guys that I need to take the exercise bike out, that means that I must cycle. So I'm going to say it. Let's do it. So before I go to bed, okay, it's the same sort of thing where I'm introducing a cue for the next morning. Okay, because the exercise bike also goes into the storage cupboard once it's done, which it's necessary. I don't like having it all over the place, like in the way. We have that's another limitation is we have very small space here, so you don't get to just be in a certain room and that's the room that you're going to use for a certain thing. You do have I do have to manage that, and I can get very cluttered. But check Discord. New workout outfit. Oh, that's another thing. New work. Wait, Lucy, what are you saying? New workout outfit. I must get one because I do need one. I do need one. No, Discord. And that's because the others got lost in the laundry. Just hold up. Come on, Discord. Oh, did you take a photo of your log cabin? Just hold up. No, we're not in streamer mode. Oh, I won't show it. Wow. Oh, that's incredible. I can smell it. I can smell this house. It's so beautiful. Okay. A new cute fit to work out in always gets me in the mood to go to the gym. Well, yeah, that's what my friend, she's just gotten a new membership at a gym, and she's like, I feel like I need, because she showed me the gym, it's very fancy. She's like, I think I need new outfits, whatever. I've done it all before where I've bought the new stuff and not used it and whatever. But the point is, you're still increasing the likelihood that all of this happens. So, eventually, what I want to engineer is that the exercise bike, I want to exercise first when I wake up. But what I have started doing is I come out usually, and one of the things is as well, okay, let's try a smaller one. When I come out to greet Daisy in the morning, I will do calm daily move. Okay, so that's my one. And because I do the daily move with Melmar, I was doing that pretty well at some point. So, but one of the things I was doing, and I have done in the past two or 3 days, is just had a stretch with Daisy. It's the cutest thing. Yes, I go and I'm still tired. Like I'm very tired, and I even just lay on the ground for a while as well. But the point is, I was moving, so it is a step in the right direction. I can't work out at home. I get too distracted. Well, yeah, that's another thing Gordon said to me. He's like, if that's the problem, go to the gym. We've got a gym as well. There's no excuse. Like if you can't work out at home, like that is not the place that you want to work out. The whole thing is just getting to the gym. For me, when I would go to it was just about just getting me to the fucking gym. That's it. Okay, get me there. Doesn't matter what workout. The whole idea that you had to even leave the house to go to the gym, that was the whole battle really for me. Like that is the thing. Maybe working out at home is difficult because you are what is happening is you're mixing all of the cues. So if you just have one thing like I need to go to the gym, at least you're there. The big fight happens you getting into your car and going or walking, whatever. Second picture. I can't work out at home. I need to just check it out. Oh my gosh! You have goats? Oh my gosh, you have goats? I love goats. They're so cute. Okay. Catrude. What else? I don't know. Let's try another one. The exercise bike's a big one. I think this daily move one is a realistic one. So I'm not doing anything after. I will try and chain my habits and write them down what I want to do after I do the daily calm and all of that. But I think this is a good start. Okay. But this continues so that we can get to the rest of the stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Why environmental design? So why design this environment? Why change the environment? And it's because we do it the other way. Goats are so sweet. Aren't they sweet? They got cute little chocolate little noses and chins. Okay. World created by others versus designed by yourself for yourself. So look, the book does talk about that we live in a world that's created by others, but we're also in a world that's created by another self of us, a self that is not conscious of the environment, a self that's just trying to do what is expedient, what is okay, cool. Oh, I need this, so I'm just going to put it here. Like we're doing it backwards. We're kind of just you're doing it for utility. So even if we are the designer of our environment, which nobody has designed this environment but me, I still haven't put all the thought into it. I haven't meticulously made changes that could help it. So that's the whole thing. Just putting in this thought of this sort of stuff, it helps you. It increases your likelihood of doing the new thing. So here is now the development, right? So we do have this cue thing that we were talking about. So remember when I was talking about what are they called? Both of you have Galenta and Andrew have goats. I love them. Do you have what do you do with your goats? Do you milk them? What do you do? Goat's milk is very nice, by the way. Anyway, are you going to eat them? Okay. So what happens is we've spoken about cues, right? The cues being specific little things that are telling us what we want, enhancing or triggering our habits, right? We have the little cues, like specific, very highly specific things, but actually they all of the associations around that cue become a context, and the context itself becomes a cue. So you think you have Yahtzee? Yahtzee goats? Okay, so cue is specific, but over time, the entire context of the cue is associated. So, example, from one single cue to a whole room becoming associated with the behavior. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, this one, this I do this one behavior in this room. I watch TV in this room. That's my lazy room. That whole, it's not that the couch is the cue anymore. It's the entire the entire room becomes a cue. The look of a book, on just thinking about it association wise, the look of a book on a pillow just makes me think of lamplight, like going to bed, being cozy, cooling down, like is in like going to bed, like just the slowing down for the night before bed kind of thing. And it reminds me of just all of those feelings. So that entire association context, it's not just as easy as a tiny little cue that's by itself. It's just that we are using those very specific ones to trigger the development of an association. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring this association together so that we can just hack our brains. No, we bury them. It's a whole thing. What? Goats are largely for show in the States. No, I play with them. Dogs love them too. Oh, they have names? Oh, I love goats. Goats are largely for show in the States. Okay, so I didn't know that was a show thing. Okay, so examples of context and cue. Social drinking. So, people, there is a context that itself, it's not like the actual, okay, only bottles are for drink, are making you drink alcohol. It's like, no, seeing your friends, in a social setting, the entire context of seeing people drink has a whole bunch of cues that have made an association in your brain. Okay, so couches. Now, the reason he puts couches here is that the same cue can have a different or a different context. It can take on a different meaning. So couch can be the place you curl up with a book, or it can be a place where you watch TV. So it depends on who you are and what you do with that area, that cue. So an example as well was this insomniac study. What they did was, people that had insomnia, they said, okay, the only time you go to your bedroom is when you're tired, when you're ready to sleep, not when you want to try to sleep. So your bedtime could be 10 o'clock, but you're not tired, you don't want to go to sleep. So you carry on and do whatever. You don't go into your bedroom until you are tired. That was the study. And the results, they only go to the bedroom when tired enough to sleep. So that means that they're not lying in bed awake. So they don't get to be in the context of the bed and be awake at the same time. Every time they are in the context of this bed, they are tired. So they associate that with going to sleep, and it's easier for them to go to sleep. So these are people that had a problem sleeping, but they still landed up sleeping better or falling asleep quicker because they had this association built up over time, that it was only when they were tired that they went to bed. So yes, they could stay up until 3 a.m. on the couch, but they're not allowed to go to the bedroom and stay awake in the bedroom. So what Lucy was saying about leaving her phone in the kitchen, that is a big change, but it means that she doesn't get to, she needs to be done with her phone before she goes to bed. She doesn't get to lie in bed with her phone. So that is quite a big change. But if that's the decision, if there's no charger next to the bed, then we're also not going to be temptations coming up. We're not going to be tempted to bring the phone with us to the bed. We need the phone to charge, so we're going to put it there. So only go to the bedroom when tired enough to sleep. Brain associated going to sleep with being in the bed, making falling asleep easier. So that's what we're trying to do. Trying to make associations. Okay? Deliberately. So yeah, the context is the location associated with habits and routines. What he's trying to tell us is we mustn't think about the environment being filled with objects, but they're filled with relationships. So you have a relationship to each of these objects, and it's so true. This is what I really wanted to get to and what I really wanted to talk about, because I have so many objects. This is this desk area. There's 2 desks here that I've taken over. They were supposed to be, Gordon was supposed to be able to work next to me. He can't work next to me. I talk too much. I've got meetings all the time. So he's got his own area that he works in. So he's got that in the bedroom, which, yes, it's not a good idea. We want it to be separate, but there is, at least he does need to separate his concerns and only work at the desk, not work on the bed. That whole idea of keeping things in certain places. So each object has a relationship contextually. It's true. I've got my microphone. The microphone is only used for streaming. I don't use it when I'm on meetings. I use my headset when I'm on meetings. Now I've got my old laptop, which I've just started using up, and I've got my work laptop. Now, but I've got all of these things mixed together in one big wall, and I'm confused because I do want to be able to separate my concerns between work and YouTube and online life. It's very difficult to keep them separate, but I need to. So I need to work on my environment for that. And I was hoping you guys had opinions about it. If it's a black leather couch, that's a different cue. Exactly. We had a dairy goats and we made soap from the milk fat, but you didn't drink the milk. Goat milk is so good because I'm lactose intolerant. So before there was lactose-free milk available, I would drink goat's milk and it was great. Anyway, so he's now saying what is best would be the principle of one space, one use. Obviously, that can't be a thing when you have a smaller place. It would be very nice. So, but we need to control it as much as possible. So I was thinking what I need to do is this. I sit here when I work and I sit here when I stream. But I'm thinking I move to that chair over there on the other side of the other desk when I'm streaming, and this is my work seat. Literally, that's a change I'm thinking of doing. Interesting. And I'm also wondering if I don't use this laptop at all. I sign out of it and whatever, and I only use that laptop for, like, that's the Kitty laptop, and this is the Chinsia laptop. Very difficult. So I was thinking maybe a less extreme version of that would be different desktops or different profiles on the computer. So that's another thing. Of course you drank the milk, but honestly, I hate gamey milk. Well, fine, Galente. Okay. So one space, one use, working in the kitchen, hard to stop working. So that's something that actually I want to speak to Gordon about, because as much as he does have a desk in the bedroom, he will work on the bed. And I've worked on the bed as well. I'm also guilty of just taking the laptop to the bed and working there. But you're mixing all of the contents, all of the cues. But the reason I think I did that, if it's still within keeping of the whole habits associations thing, it's because I enjoy relaxing on the bed. So I want the relaxing feeling that I have when I'm on the bed. I want that to leak into my work somehow. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to make that sort of association. Hi, Sparkles. I didn't get notified and now I am upset. Now you did not receive the cue and now the habit was not, and the reward gone. Streaming is kind of working, right? No, not this stream. So look, mixing contexts will mix habits. And I can't deny that. I don't know how far I want to separate these two worlds and how far I can. I don't know. I don't, because the more I can separate them, the better I can do my work during work hours, and then really truly enjoy the streaming stuff. Like, I need to separate them for real, but also just separate my mind. Like, I've got no, yeah. So that goes to what we're talking about, what I was talking about afterwards as well, about tomorrow. I'm actually going to a remote workplace. I'm going to work in a co-working space. So I'm changing my environment for just to get to go and work somewhere else, because also I stay in my apartment all the time. So that's another thing. What I'm here to cause trouble from a pretty boss lady. For the pretty, oh well, you're already causing trouble. Look at this, we're already off. Daisy has already come to say hello. So we're talking about one space, one use. Okay. Do you mix your contexts, Sparkles? Oh yes, another. Let's actually see the example that what we've done for one of the examples of, we're trying to make cues that make it obvious. We need to change our environments to help us to create new habits, right? So one of the things that we've decided that after making the bed, put a book on my pillow, because both Lucy and I want to read before bed, right? So it's like, okay, we will go and put the book on the pillow. Now, yes, we've used the habit of making the bed because we already worked on that habit. Now we've created a cue, which is the visual of the book on the pillow. We've created that to remind us for future self, hey, read the book instead of going on the phone. And we're also talking about the rest of the environment, how you can change the rest of your environment to help you not do the things you don't want to do. And so one of them is not having your phone next to your bed. Yes, phones, usually you need them next to the bed because of alarms, and also it's a bit scary because you're like, oh my god, I need to answer the phone or whatever, and it's usually the last thing we do. But if you take it and you make that your charger is not next to your bed, then you are forced to say, okay, done for the night, puts phone down. Even if it's in your room, if your phone is on charge on the other side of the room and you have to let it go, be over there and lie down in bed, changing that up, it will feel very strange. But the thing is, you're making it easier for yourself to perform this thing, instead of, oh, I'm going to sit and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and that'll just go on forever. I've been trying that, so I put it on the charger by my TV. Yeah. Public is difficult. Other people are difficulties. It's true. That is a thing, but I don't know what this place. I'll see how this place is. It's supposed to be friendly for working, so. You let your phone die instead of charging it. I've done that before. Lately, actually, don't let it die. Okay. So, this is the whole point here is motivation is overrated, environment often matters more. So that's the thing, we wait for we might wait to get this huge motivation without changing little things around us that will just help us, okay, to continue to get better. So that leads us to the secret of self-control. Okay, because we're all talking about all these things that we have habits, the bad habits, and we just want to get rid of the bad habits and put on new good habits, right? So here is our intro. He speaks about soldiers in Vietnam that were addicted to heroin. I don't know, Lucy, if you've heard about this, or I don't know, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about this sort of thing. I think that was even like the root of the war on drugs and all of that. I don't know. Not within arm reach is the key here. So there were soldiers that were addicted to heroin. And when they came back, only 5% of them were re-addicted within a year of returning. And I think it was even less after that. So eventually it was 9 out of 10 returning soldiers eliminated their addiction overnight. Basically, within 3 years, they hadn't relapsed into heroin addiction after they came back from the war. So this is what they observed, right? Addiction was considered permanent and irreversible, but then a radical change in the environment made it reversible. So the radical change was from being in Vietnam to going home, and that's what made it reversible. It wasn't. Yes, there was some relapse, but the availability was different. Everything was all the cues were different. So cues for heroin use were all war related, not at home. So it was with other soldiers, it was more available. All of those things were much more available, much more tempting in front of them. Now compare that to people that are typical drug users, that actually they've become addicted at home. They didn't go to war and then get addicted there. They within their own normal natural context, they became addicted. So their natural environment is already feeding that habit. So they've been at home, they've been with their friends. That's where their addiction occurs. So when they try to get clean, they go to rehab. But then they relapse once they come back from rehab, because all the old cues and all the old habits and all the people that we're trying to stay away from or whatever, they all return once you leave rehab. You can't stay in rehab forever. So while the rehab does help them, obviously, with detox and everything, it's difficult. It's easy to relapse once you're away. So if we're thinking about bad habits as addictions, that's exactly it. What you're trying to do by changing your environment is taking yourself away from those bad cues. And basically what it actually, if we go and talk about that, literally the comparison, that 90% of people that go to rehab, they will relapse. But this is compared to the returning soldiers who landed up not relapsing as much. So there was relapse, don't worry. But the thing is, because the cause of their habits was different to the general normal drug user, that's the difference between the two groups. Okay. When the context changed, so did the habits. So that's the other bumper sticker for this night. It's when the context changed, so did the habits. That's what happened to them. That's what happened to the heroin addicts from Vietnam. So he does talk about unhealthy behavior as a moral weakness. It was viewed that way. So we do think, okay, you're unhealthy, therefore it's because you're basically, you've just got vices. That's it. And we just sit and condemn people for it. And then it's like discipline is seen as the thing that will solve all problems. It's like, yeah, that's it. If you just have self-control, you'll be fine. Which, yes, it makes sense, but it takes so much self-control. It's so difficult. So, and I am getting migraine, but I'm almost done with the books. I'm almost done with this part of the book, so we're fine. Discipline is seen as the thing that will solve all problems, and this is the actual secret that it comes down to. Disciplined people are just better at structuring their lives, so they don't need to use strong willpower in the first place. So it's not that they have this, they do have this willpower, but the point is they use their willpower to structure their world so that they don't actually need to resist all the time. That's really how it actually works. Willpower is essential, but getting better at it requires changing the environment to be more conducive to that. It makes so much sense. It's actually just duh. This is the way that you can actually word what he's talking about. They spend less time in tempting situations. Same thing as we spend less time just looking at soda in the first this thing over here, talking about environment. So it all just really makes so much sense. So habits in the brain in COVID carved in. Literally, when you have a habit, it really does. It's stuck with you. He gives you an example in the book where there was I think I've put here smoking horse riding example. This lady, she would smoke when she went horse riding with her friend. Then she quit smoking and she also quit horse riding. But then she was fine for years. She didn't smoke at all. And then she went horse riding, and out of nowhere she had a craving for cigarettes because it was just coded in her brain. And that's the thing that we were talking about, the popcorn and the subliminal messaging and that sort of thing. That is it. Your brain. That another thing he mentions is they flashed a picture of cocaine to cocaine users. that they didn't perceive it. They were unconscious of the fact that they had seen a picture of cocaine, but their brain had already reacted to it. This pleasure seeking, the reaction as if they had seen cocaine. So it's so powerful. You're trying to fight that. That's what you're doing all the time. By letting these cues sit in front of you all the time, you're fighting that. You're trying to fight that. That's difficult. Okay, and that's why backfiring behavior techniques happen. Cue-induced wanting, so it's just another word for craving. So okay, we want to use the cue of having an apple visible to make me want an apple. We want the cue of seeing a book on a pillow to think, oh, cozy reading, lovely, great time to go to sleep. That's what we want, right? So yeah, you actually can land up fostering the feeling you're trying to numb. This is talking about backfiring behavior change techniques, right? So we're talking about just certain cues. If you don't get your cues right, which is exactly what happened to me, or it's not that I got the cues wrong, it's that I didn't have the positive cues, that the negative cues came in and let me spiral. It's just going back to the whole idea of the darker side of behavior, of incremental gains, of you can spiral. So you could land up fostering with your bad habits. You foster your bad habit with your bad habit. In here are the examples he gives is overeating, shaming an obese person can lead them to stress eating. Showing black lungs to smokers makes a smoker feel stressed and crave a cigarette. Watching TV makes you feel lethargic. Oh, well, you have no energy, so you're not going to do something, so you watch more TV. Like that, it's a repetition of the concepts, but it's in a dynamic way. So I really appreciate the way he's showing it. So one of the things one of the other bumper stickers we have is you can break a habit, but you're unlikely to forget it. It's true. So that's just, again, just reminding us how fucking powerful these things are and what we're trying to fight when we're fighting bad habits. So look, one of the things the examples of what we would need to do. Okay, we can break a habit. We won't forget it, but we just need to do certain things that will take the cue away. We're trying to just reduce the temptation. Leave your phone in another room to get work done. Stop following certain accounts on social media if they make you feel a certain way. Yes, that can cause avoidance. I'm living avoidance. It's not a good thing. That's going back to fostering the feelings you're trying to numb and all of that. It's all about balancing these principles for sure. For sure. TV out of the bedroom. So if you're watching too much TV, take the TV out of the bedroom. Gordon and I have already agreed that when we move out, we're not going to have the TV in our bedroom. Console in the cupboard. So if I was playing too much PlayStation, I would move it away. I need to make the console go to the cupboard because once I'm done with it, it must be out of my sight. Out of sight, out of mind is a good thing. So it's highly repetitive considering what we've spoken about, but that's the secret. The secret of self-control is not that everybody has this crazy self-control. It's that they control their environment and make it easier. So they make it less tempting. Just spend less time in tempting environments. And then I'm just going to go to the cheat sheet, which is the last bit before we go to bed. How to create a good habit. First law, make it obvious. Make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. So we've spoken about now today, making it obvious, making the easiest choice, making the best choice, the easiest one, the most obvious one. That will help us. So we have to move around our environment or fiddle with our environment before that happens. But at the same time, with a bad habit, we have to make it invisible. So got to hide the not even hide. We've got to take away the candy. We don't put it in the house. Just don't bring it into the house. Okay. Don't have a certain kind of food in the house, and it will be a whole lot easier not to eat it. That's why I don't have peanut butter. Do you know that? That is why I don't buy tubs of peanut butter, because if that peanut butter is here, bitch is eating it in 3 days. I used to have freaking tubs of peanut butter like this, and I could finish them. No, I don't buy them anymore. Anyway, make it unattractive. We haven't spoken about that. Make it difficult. Make it unsatisfying. We're going further, but basically, just to tell you where we're at, where we are here. We're only there. The next, we'll do part 4 here. Make a habit irresistible. Make it attractive will be the next part. And I hope that my migraines will stop being a thing in the next few weeks. Like, I know they're a thing, as in we can expect them, but we can't expect them this often. I've been getting them quite a lot, but it's because I've just gone on to some other medication. So anyway, I wish I were playing it more. Playing my guitar, what? I suck. Don't understand the discipline part. No, that's the thing. People that have discipline have honed it over time. That's the thing. They've honed it over a long time. They've made life less tempting for themselves. So if we went and put up all these temptations in front of them, it would be proper. It would be the more difficult. Okay, yes. Also, by the way, Andrew, yes, about the keyboard. The reason, coming back to the whole thing of designing the environment, I was like, this is my fun keyboard, my kitty cat keyboard, right? So I was like, so I'll just use my other keyboard, this keyboard over here for work, right? This one over here. But I'm like, I don't like the way this one sounds compared to my mechanical one. Listen to this. It's okay, but it's not this, right? So that's why I want a work keyboard. So that's what we're going to do. A work keyboard, so that we can have and maybe a work desktop. So that there can be a separation of concerns. But that does mean that we get to have another keyboard. But and that's also why I'm thinking of, I mean, either way, that's the PC. When I do build the PC, that will be it will have no work on it. I won't use the PC for any work. What's this? I stalked you a little on Twitter. Who are you? Well, I found you. You know that, but you are very pretty, Lucy. Lol, and I like your bio. Oh, you found Lucy on Twitter. Yeah. Okay, she is answering my question. What? Keyboard distractions. Anyway. Okay, guys. This migraine shit is bullshit. I'm not really. At least I get to say it every time. But anyway, I don't have. I'm gonna go to bed. And as a conclusion for today, from today's lesson, is what is it, Daisy? It's we need to change this environment. I still haven't decided how, and I suppose I will say so on Discord or in tweets, or I don't know, maybe in a Substack. I don't know. But I'm off to bed, and I will try to read. Yeah, I'll read before I sleep, but it ain't going to be pretty because I can't see properly. Anyway, night, kiddo. Don't let the bed dogs bite. No, only you will bite. Oh yes, and tomorrow's habit is doing stretches with Daisy. You better read. I will, Miss Sparkles. I will. And I'm not going to the City Adam stream, right? But if I was, I would wait until 69 likes. Okay. But yeah, everybody, have a nice life. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Thursday for a think.
Go and subscribe, you shit.